Hey there, Scrapping Games fans, how are we all? I am back with you today with a new Project Life spread for you for my little one's album. Just documenting a trip to Wollongong last year sometime. So it is a 2-page spread. And when I do these sort of spreads, I do try and make them so that the photos, if they're going to have to be 2 pages, sort of go back to back in the one sleeve. Sort of find it a bit economical with the use of sleeves, plus when you put them in the album it sort of isn't as many pages there. So I am using some of these lovely Kaiser Craft Daydreamer collection papers, which I got in my July Kitaholic Kits. So I'm just flipping them around, having a look, checking out what's going to work, what matches, colours, blah blah blah. You know, it did have, some of these did have, like you can see that one there that's just off to the side, and the other one just there in the background have the words on them. So I just wanted to make sure that they sort of fit in with my theme of things, as well as sort of the colour and whatnot. So I really like this green paper. I'm not usually a greeny kind of girl. It goes really well with some of the photos in this, with just the scenery. As I said, we're at the beach and things like that. And you can see that first photo is my little one running across some sand and grass. So yeah, so I am going to make my own cards. I think I've said to you before, I tend to lean towards doing these sometimes, especially being that I get the kit. I don't always use the pattern papers for 12 by 12 layouts. Now I do only get the main kit, so that's why, you know, I do only get the papers and not a Project Life cards in them. So yeah, just gonna chop these up into the size that I want to put in the pockets, and go from there. I'm getting pretty good at measuring these out now. I'm pretty impressed with myself actually making these. It's taken me a bit, as crazy as it sounds, to measure these out without a ruler and pencil and all that. So yeah. Now I think, escape the process for you, or edit the process I should say, of yes, seeing me make all of the cards. I think. I'm pretty certain I do, because I don't feel that you need to see all of that, and I don't need to voice over all of that. We shall see. Anyway, so how is everyone? Have you been enjoying the last few videos that I've been doing? I'm trying to mix it up a little bit, do a bit of Project Life, bit of 12 by 12, bit of mixed media. I've had a couple thrown in there of my design team creations for Scrapping Clearly. And if you're not a follower such of mine on my blog or Instagram, I think, I've just been offered a role, or given a role, in another Australian Facebook group, Scrapping Good Times, as a design team member with actually a good friend of mine. So we both get to be design team members. So keep an eye out for some layouts and some shares for those. Blog posts in, Instagram, on here, all those sorts of things. Alright, so yeah, still making the cards. Pretty certain I cut this out for you, but I could, as I said, I'm sorry, I could be wrong. But anyway, I do try and do a few things different with this layout. I was having a bit of a thing when I did these layouts recently. Was this last week? Maybe. So I have a couple of things, and I'm sure the rest of us are like this, where you have tools that you have in your stash, and you're like, they're the greatest thing when they come out, and you're like, yes, I need to have one of those, and, blah, blah, blah. So I got a fuse tool about 12 months ago, and I use it, but not very regularly, as much as I thought I would use it when I got it. So on this layout, I actually use my fuse tool, and the other thing I've been trying to use a bit more of is my diamond press, which is like the mini version of your die cut machine. Big Shot, that's the word. Sorry, the name evaded me for a minute there. So I have decided to try and use those a little bit more, being that, I had to have them, so I need to use them. Alright, back to the layout. Actually, my question is, do you have tools that you don't use, or that you think you should use more of? I'm sure we were all guilty of something like that. We got it because it was the in thing, and then, yep. Anyway, let me know in the comments below if there's anything that you have kicking about in your stash that you think, I just can't part with it, but yeah, gotta give it a go. Alright, so as you see, I did edit out all of the last remaining cards that I made. As you can see, they are all from the pattern papers that you saw, the Kaiser Craft ones. The frame that you can see down here is one that came from one of the releases, the Project Life kits last year. Is it the currently edition, I think? So yes, I was contemplating using that. I thought this was really clever of me. So I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do on this card. And I wanted to make it my title card. And I fussed around for ages with embellishments, and I just wanted to give it that watery kind of look. So, water brush pen, watercolours, and I just flicked it across, and every now and again I'd get some more paint on it to make it a bit darker, and then a bit more water to make it a bit lighter, and just I liked that sort of wish-wash effect that it's given across there. I'm just cleaning off my brush. I swear I edit these things out anyway, but yeah. So this is my title card. I do embellish it and put a title on it, as you will see. I use those pink Dear Lizzie thickers there. Alright. Pretty certain I cut this bit out too, so don't stress. I do play around with how I'm going to have the title laid out, and you'll see what I mean shortly. Going through making sure I have all the letters. It is a new sticker set, so it should hopefully have most of them left, which it did. And this was perfect. I brought this layout, this spread was perfect. I brought a die cut set, which you'll see shortly, and the name might pop up right now. A jelly bean soup, I think it is. Ephemera pack. As you can see, it's all spread out there now next to me. I think I lost some of the video here, so I do apologise. I'm not sure what happened. There it is, jelly bean soup. And I brought it from Anna's Craft Cupboard. And I only got it mainly because I really like the bright colours, but it had flamingos. And my daughter is obsessed with flamingos and bunnies. So to sort of share with her. And I just thought, oh, well, this layout or this spread is for her book, her album. And it's of the beach, so it was perfect. So yeah, now you can see there I did the title card. It's got a little camera and the flamingo and flower from that ephemera pack, and then a little wood veneer cloud that also came in my main July kit for Kitaholic Kits. Now I fuss around with this tag, and I did literally fuss around for ages trying to figure out where it would go. So I did take that out for you. And I have decided I use a pink doily just to bring some more elements of the pink in, just to add something a bit different sort of like texture look kind of thing with it with the doily. And I do trim the tag down here. So it's not so much, I guess, a tag. It looks like a tag. And yeah, I think it worked really, really well. It sort of makes that tag pop up a little bit. And the doily, the pink doily, just blends in the other pink elements like the title card and stuff like that I use. Now I do embellish this. No, actually I use this as my journal card, just to give a bit of a cap on what we're doing. Just using some of my double-sided tape just to pop it down. That tag that I just chopped up was an old Amy Tan one I got on Lino's, if you can still get it. I think I probably picked it up from, I'd say Spotlight. I'm going to probably say Spotlight. I picked most of my earlier craft supplies up from there before I found online shopping. So yeah, I think it was one of the last few I've got left in that pack actually. So trying to use them up. And it just, as you can see, it just says on an adventure. Now I have stuck some little green sort of clear sort of type stickers, phrase stickers from the little pack you can see on the left. It's a Heidi Swap pack, and again it came in my July Kitaholic Kit. The top one says "You are here," and the bottom one says "Today was amazing." So yeah, I'm just journaling the date and just where we were, who we were with, yeah, and what we did, which was sort of have fun. They had a play in the water, and we chased Pokemon with their cousins. So yeah, it was really good. Mind you, I would never have gotten in the water myself because it was September, and it looks beautiful, but it was still a little cool. But, you know, kids are kids and they will swim in ice, I'm sure, and sometimes if they could. And just adding some of these little puffy stickers that are clouds and that. I think I brought them on a garage sale site. There you go, up close. I'm slowly remembering to put them up close for you so you can see the card. I'm slowly getting better at this. Yeah, sorry, so those little, it's just two little clouds, just pink clouds. Now, I try not to, I had thought when I did this spread, and this is why it took me a bit, I think, to do this picture, I didn't want to over embellish because the pictures are quite scenic, like they're quite beautiful pictures and shots of the beach, and the sky was gorgeous and that. I didn't want to take away from that when I did these spreads, so I just sort of did minimal embellishing on the photos as much as I could, or just to make sure it looked right. I think there's more on this front page. Let me just have a look. Yeah, than there is on the second. I sort of minimise it more on the second than anything else. Journal. Alright, and I think looking for seashells and checking out the ocean. My daughter has this thing now when we go to the beach, and I think it started here, looking for all the beautiful seashells. And when we went away at the beginning of the year to Tartheray up in New South Wales, the seashells we found were absolutely amazing. I had some of them, we just hadn't seen anything like it before. It was great. So I'm just adding from my little tray of goodies there that you can see at the top of my desk. They're all my bits and pieces I get in my kit, and that's just one of the printables that just says happiness. So as I said, nothing too much, too leery. Now, as you can see, I'm going through, this is the ephemera pack I was just talking about before, the Jelly Bean Soup one, and I do take a bit fiddling around as to deciding if the picture needed something or not, and I just decide it does. So I add another flamingo, and then some little words that just say, love that face, which is what I'm cutting up now, which is part of the printables again in our kit for this month. I do play around, as you can see here, with this little kind of like tag piece, but it just as I said, it took too much away from the scenic element of this photo. So as you can see, I sort of ditch it and, move to something else. I think I just stick them down by themselves, basically. You can read them when you see the page in a book, in the album, but they're not taking away from when you're sort of looking at it from afar, kind of thing, if that makes sense. And just using my little Tombow glue there to stick them all down. I'm so proud of that glue. It's lasted me dead set since August last year. I went to the big craft show that came here in Canberra, and we'll be back this year. And I brought some, and I haven't had to buy any since. I only use it, I don't use it for a general sort of adhesive most of the time. I use it only for the little fine tips, like little sequins and things like that. But it's great. Now, I did add one of those little wood buttons. Now, they are a Chamel, yes, wood button. Again, and you can see the pack just sitting at the top of the screen there, on the right. And there's quite a few there. And I'm not a big wood button person, but button. Yeah, I was trying to use them and sort of branch out, try and be a bit different. Alright, so here comes the fuse tool. So as you can see, it's on the side there. Now I had it heating whilst I worked on the spread, so that way it was really hot. It says 10 minutes on the packet. Mine, my big head, sorry. I think it's 10 minutes, but I just had mine going for the most of the time that I did this fight with trying to get it across my desk, my hair. And as you can see, you just roll it through. It takes a little bit. And the reason I left this in, guys, is so that anyone who's contemplating getting a fuse tool or has one is not sure of it, which is what I was when I got the tool, you can see that it how it's used. And it works really quickly. Like, it put the pages together, so it seals the edge of the open edge of the pocket. And so I did one on both, a shaker pocket on both sides. So I had to, you have to make sure that the other side, once it's sealed, that's it. So I had to make sure I had all my embellishing and everything on the card on the back so that it all matched up. But yeah, as I said, I left my fuse tool on because one of the tutorials I think I watched, and it might have been Inky Quill, might have been Adele. She did a fuse tool one ages ago. Anyway, so you leave it on. The hotter it is, I think the easier it sort of is to sort of seal the packet or the pocket better. And I just find, I knew I wanted to use it, so I just made sure that it was really well heated, basically. I think it had been sitting there for a good 20-30 minutes. And the little mat that was underneath, I brought that from Spotlight as well. It's just the We Are Memory Keepers. It's a fuse tool mat, so it's like a silicone kind of mat with a little holder in it, because otherwise you do need to buy like a glass tray or something like that, because it will just melt straight through. So just be mindful of that too, that if you get a fuse tool, try and get the mat or something else that will, work as equally well as a bit of a buffer between your surfaces. So searching around more and more for some more ephemera pieces. This is from the collectibles from Kaiser Craft in the same collection, the Daydreamer collection. So just trying to figure out what will go there. I'm using this big wood veneer piece, and it says, and you probably can't see it from here, My Kind of Day. Now I do use my watercolours to paint over the top in a blue and a greeny or light. I think I go blue and sort of try and make it light, dark, kind of a different look. I just didn't like the very stark wood nature, or look, sorry, in this layout. I just thought blue would match better with the general sort of gist of it being the beach and the ocean and water and yada yada. So you don't have to worry about seeing me do all of that. I took all of that out, and I do fiddle around, and I've just got some gold Heidi Shine here, just making some splatters. And again, those two pieces there are from that Kaiser Craft one that I was telling you about, collectible pack that I was talking about. Now I'd adhere my wood veneer down with some wet glue, just because it's easier. It always clogs this glue, it drives me bonkers. So nearly coming to the end of this layout, because I don't really embellish the other photos. So I hope you've enjoyed this Project Life spread. Keep an eye out for upcoming ones. I have a few more videos to do. Here's some close-ups. I think this layout worked out really, really well, and being that, I made, as I said, I've done it before, I make a lot of my own cards sometimes in my spreads. My lovely shaker pocket there, trying to give it a bit of a shake so the sequins move. But yeah, definitely give it a go, and let me know if there's anything you have hidden in your stash, tools that you had to have that, are just hiding, collecting dust at times. Alright, and if you liked my video, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon. Bye.